Chapter 8. Mass Media Monsters. In the old days, monster legends spread at the speed of newspapers or word of mouth. Today, they spread at the speed of light. A tweet or YouTube video can blast a local sighting to millions of screens overnight. This hyperconnectivity has changed the dynamic of how cryptids emerge and evolve. We live in a world of a hyperactive collective psyche, where attention is a currency, and virality is almost like a spell. Something can go from non-existent to globally famous in 24 hours if it hits the algorithmic jackpot. And indeed, we've seen exactly that with cryptid stories. Consider what happened in April 2019 on Twitter. The official account of the Indian Army's mountaineering unit tweeted that their expedition in the Himalayas had found mysterious giant footprints in the snow, measuring 32 inches long, far larger than any known animal's tracks. They explicitly suggested these prints were evidence of the Yeti, the legendary, abominable snowman. They even posted photos, soldiers posing next to a trail of enormous single-file footprints leading off into the white distance. Instantly, the tweet went supernova. Major news outlets around the world ran the story. Social media exploded with reactions: awe, skepticism, ridicule, patriotism. Some Indians proud their army acknowledged the folklore, some embarrassed by it. For a brief moment, the Yeti was trending worldwide, as if a celebrity had done something outrageous. Memes were made. Debates raged. The fact that an official, credible organization had said, "Yes, we think this might be evidence of the Yeti," was astounding to many. This incident illustrates a few things. 1. The collision of institutions and myth in the digital space. The Army's tweet lent legitimacy to a fringe topic, showing how even our sober authorities can get swept into the mythos. 2. The sheer focusing power of a viral post. Millions who never think about Yetis were suddenly imagining one, picturing those footprints, talking about the possibility. It's as if the hashtag Yeti Footprints became an incantation, a rallying cry that unified a moment of attention onto the idea of the Yeti. If consciousness and belief have power, a trending topic is like a global chant. In this case, the chant was Yeti, 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 echoing across the internet. Not long after, Nepal, home to the Sherpa legends of the Yeti, saw renewed interest and expeditions looking for the creature. Mountaineers reported odd tracks now and then. Nothing conclusive, but it's as if once the Yeti became a worldwide star, more eyes and minds were primed to notice anything anomalous in the snow. The monster, once largely a regional legend, had been turbocharged by global attention. This is a pattern. The internet accelerates the life cycle of monster legends. A cryptid that might have taken decades to creep into popular awareness can now do so in days. Take the case of the Fresno Nightcrawlers. These were bizarre little creatures caught on a home security camera in Fresno, California. Pale, spindly, walking pants that strolled across a lawn at night. The footage, initially an obscure oddity shared on niche paranormal forums, eventually landed on a TV show and then went viral online. The result? The Nightcrawler became an internet cryptid star. People made fan art of this weird little being. Yard decorations were crafted in its image for Halloween. Memes and jokes spread. In short, the internet took a couple of unclear CCTV clips and inflated them into a full-blown legend with visual iconography and a fan following. Now, any strange white humanoid form caught on camera might be labeled a Nightcrawler. The meme has shaped interpretation going forward. We essentially witnessed the birth of a cryptid because of algorithmic amplification. In a way, you can think of the internet as a collective consciousness machine. It takes individual experiences like someone's weird CCTV video or a local news blurb about footprints and feeds them into a system that amplifies whatever triggers engagement, which are often things that evoke strong emotions like fear, curiosity, or wonder. Cryptid stories are perfect for this environment. They're mysterious, a little scary, a little humorous sometimes, and they beg to be shared. OMG, look at this. Do you think it's real? Once they catch on, the algorithms push them to more people, which in turn brings in more reports, more content, more engagement. It's a feedback loop where attention breeds attention, and our earlier thesis suggests that attention might also breed reality, or at least incidents that keep the story going. We saw how Slender Man grew through online sharing. The algorithms noticed people loved spooky content, so Slender Man posts got promoted, which made more people aware, some of whom started treating him like a real threat. In that tragic Slender Man stabbing case, where two young girls attacked a friend, claiming they did it for Slender Man, it was essentially an instance where an online myth bled into physical action. In cryptid lore, we haven't had such a stark incident of violence, thankfully, but we have plenty of cases where online communities fuel real-world expeditions and experiences. The Bigfoot community today, for example, is massively connected via forums, Facebook groups, YouTube channels, reality TV shows, etc. Enthusiasts share evidence and stories daily, creating a reinforcing bubble. Believers validate each other, and any new ambiguous piece of evidence is celebrated and spread widely. More people go out looking for Bigfoot because they see others doing it and find camaraderie online. This means more people tromping through forests at night with their smartphones and night vision cams, which increases the chances someone will see something or interpret some noise as Bigfoot. There's even a subtle social pressure. Being active in the community, you might really want to have an encounter to gain status or to feel included. So the line can blur between a sincere encounter and a perhaps subconsciously contrived one. You might honestly think a bear you glimpsed was Bigfoot because a part of you hoped it was. The internet can thus induce a kind of mass wishful seeing. Everyone is sharing stories of the monster. You go out and in the excitement you misinterpret something and boom, you've got your story to share too. It's not lying. It's the power of suggestion, aided by the desire for belonging and attention. Hoaxes also find fertile ground in this ecosystem. A decades-old hoax might be dredged up and given new life if reposted by a popular account. Or new hoaxes are perpetrated by those chasing clicks. We've seen people create fake monster videos explicitly to go viral. Some openly admit it afterward, e.g., fake mermaid body found videos or CGI Bigfoot clips made as pranks. Yet what's fascinating is even when a hoax is exposed, it doesn't always kill the legend. The famous surgeon's photo of Nessie was revealed as a hoax in the 1990s, but people still hunt Nessie just as fervently. They simply excised the hoax from their narrative and carried on believing. Conversely, when a piece of evidence goes viral and is later debunked, the debunk rarely travels as far as the original claim. This is the classic problem of misinformation. The myth's first impression sticks, while the correction lags behind or is ignored. Thus, the algorithm of attention tends to solidify myths more than dispel them. Cryptid lore accumulates layers of such viral artifacts, famous images or stories that true believers hold on to, even if skeptics have torn them apart. The 2008 Georgia Bigfoot body incident is a great example. Two men claimed to have a frozen Bigfoot corpse. It turned out to be a rubber gorilla suit in ice. It was quickly debunked, but it gave Bigfoot a huge media moment. Even today, some followers refer back to it either as a cautionary tale of hoaxing or, unbelievably, as something that could have been real if not covered up. The narrative adapts around the facts to keep the lore alive. On the positive side, our connected world allows patterns to be spotted that once would have remained isolated. If something strange is seen in two distant countries, now researchers can compare notes in real time. A photo of tracks in Russia can be matched to tracks in Oregon to see if they align. Some mysteries have been solved this way. For example, the so-called globsters, mysterious rotting carcasses that wash up on beaches, once thought to be sea monsters, turned out to be mostly decayed whale or shark remains. Once enough photos from around the world were compared by online sleuths, so the internet can debunk as well as bunk. But in creating cryptids, it often favors enchantment over disenchantment. If one place's legend gets solved, another place's new legend is already trending. The appetite for wonder is insatiable, and the internet provides an endless buffet. We also see that the internet can revive old legends. The Mongolian death worm, a creature from remote desert folklore, became internationally famous through online discussions and paranormal TV shows. This led to several expeditions by people who read about it on the web. None found a worm, yet the legend persists, fed by fresh YouTube videos and articles. One can imagine that someday a traveler, primed by all this, might go into the Gobi and finally encounter the worm because they half expect to. In that case, the internet will have succeeded in not just spreading a legend, but possibly in generating a sighting where none might have occurred. This has been an excerpt from Quantum Cryptids by Sam Elliott. Check out Elliott's new book, Paranormal Imprints, for an in-depth look into how some ghosts leave a mark on reality. Paranormal Imprints by Sam Elliott is available now.